And good morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace. It is Thursday. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Look at your sparkly earrings. Where'd you get them for Christmas or something?
No, I got them not too long ago. I just picked them up at one of those boutiques.
I don't know nothing about earrings. I couldn't help but see them.
Well, thank you.
A lot going on in the way of news in the world. And, of course, our hearts still go out to our neighbors to the east of us in Alabama and Florida. And there was some damage on the Mississippi coast, but not like what Alabama got.
Yeah, I saw a post from a friend of mine that lives down there, and she said that the power was out, and the only thing they could hear was the storm blowing and the wind, and it was just eerie.
It would have to be.
Yeah, because they say it's just sitting there. It was just sitting there, just tearing up stuff and not moving very fast. So.
And what's happening now is it's dumping water because, as you just said, it's not moving fast, so the water is just piling up. And
yeah.
I know that. Think of those people that, and there are people that either live in a camper, they live in a mobile home, and that gets destroyed, and they don't have insurance. They have no way of replacing their lives. Keep that in mind, because we all get to, you sometimes forget what you got.
Yeah.
And aren't thankful enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and even if you do have insurance, it takes time. When you have that massive amount of damage, it takes time for everybody to get to you.
It does.
And so it's going to take a while.
There's still people in Louisiana without power, still.
Yeah. It's amazing, though, that, it's scary, too, about power lines down and people out in that water trying to get here and there. And, it's just scary.
And I'm sure by now most people have seen the picture of the Floribama, with the water waist deep inside of it. And I posted this on Facebook yesterday, and this is a few of the pictures. It's a few pictures here. It's not a ton of damage. Look at this. That just swept in and threw everything out.
Yeah.
That's the water there.
That's the bridge now. That's the Gulf State Park Bridge, right?
That is?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the whole midsection is gone. And I could have sworn there were some supposedly after the little building.
That's one of the homes on fire. I didn't realize that's what that was.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Here's a boat made its way to the road. Look, it's just unreal the damage that happens from these things.
Yeah.
And this was just a Category 2 when it come ashore. You remember back, Camille was a 5 back in '69. Of course, me and you didn't know nothing about all that.
Now, I have a lot. My dad worked for the railroad, and he was going. It was Lake Pontchartrain, I guess that they were going over or something, and on one of the trains, and there was a humongous driftwood log thrown up on the bank. And somehow my daddy managed to get that log and take it home, and it is in my son's room standing up in the corner.
Really?
Because it's like a hollow log that's stands up. It's still got the shells in it from Hurricane Camille.
Wow.
It's really neat.
That is neat.
Yeah. But there's so many more behind this one. It's what's scary.
And we're watching another one develop. We'll be on top of that for you. And again, at the end of the day, keep folks in your prayers. And if you can help somebody, no matter how small it is, that helps. That goes a long way. A little act of kindness. Is that the way to put it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And because we don't ever know when it's going to be us that's going to be the next one. It almost was us that was going to get some from this. So,
on the way, we've got some news stories. We'll update you on all that. Plus, I'll give you your weekend forecast right around the corner. That's up and coming with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Exit 151 off the interstate is where you find the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Now, they always have something new and exciting going on that you can use, that is just handy. One of the things I was looking at just a moment ago, and let's pull this up here as we look at a new line of shirts that they've just posted that they've got there at the Lauderdale County Farm. This is on Facebook if you want to take a look. T-shirts, love to hunt, love to live. Also, that's pretty cool, farm hard. Not bad at all. You can also get no farms, no food. Just a few of the things that are being offered at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply this morning that I think you'd like, also, they've got other great deals that are going on, as we've mentioned, as wet weather. And we did not get the weather that started out to be so bad there. But they do have the boots. Any style that you're looking for, from the ladies to the men's, to keep you dry all during this mud. Of course, deer feeders, if you're looking for one, any style that you might need. The one in particular here is the one that has the built-in electric varmint guard. Now, they've got others also, but this is the latest that can help you out there. The Power Station, if you want to bring bucks in to get better pictures, these are great. The deer love them. Along with cameras, if you need an upgrade or if you need a new one. As I've mentioned, not only can you use these for deer season, you can use them for security around the house, anywhere you want to put them, place them at your driveway, so who's coming in and out, around the home, no matter where it is, you can find out what's happening. It'll get a picture there. Also, when it comes to seed, folks are getting ready for this. over the next few weeks, there's going to be a lot of seed put in the ground. And, of course, you can take advantage of the buckbusters. This is just some of the seed they've got, along with a southern buck that's got all the different varieties in it, from wheat, forage, oats, trophy rate, purple top turnips. Those are great, handy to have. You can also get your regular stuff from your wheat to your ryegrass. A sample of what they've got there. And taking care of your cattle, they've got that along with your horses. Whatever the need is, from guns, ammunition, is all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151 is where you need to go off the interstate, and, well, you'll be there. They'll take care of you. As we begin our day, good morning. How are you? Nice. 72 outside. It almost feels like a late October month with the breeze outside. It's gusty, about 20-mile-an-hour gust this morning, and it's nice weather. I'm not going to lie to you if you haven't been outside. Our forecast being brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. As we go over and look at the remnants of what's left of Tropical Storm, this is what's going to be Sally as she makes her way across Georgia today and into the Carolinas. A lot of rain, Augusta, Georgia, and those areas. We'll look at radar in just a moment, getting that rain that has gone through here. A lot of work there. As Sally has such a path. And what I wanted to point out, and these numbers have changed dramatically. I know Alabama has changed. At one point yesterday, it was almost 300,000 Alabamians without power. And I want to say they got that figure down to about half that around the late hours, and that'll be updated because they've been working all night. So 150 was the last figure I heard on it. At one point, Florida had 250,000 without power. Now, they've worked on that. Louisiana is still the stall. From where Laura went in, 57,000 Louisianians without power still. Tons of power crews working on this. Think of yourself of not having power for this long when Laura went in. It's rough on those folks. It's hot. It's been raining on them. So a big hats off to all of the power company workers that have been hard at it, the linemen. They have, from all areas, have descended upon. Now it'll be in two different places, but a lot of hard work going on. Think of them. Now, as we watch what's going on now with tropical storms and what's developing, Vicki, there's not much going to happen. Teddy is going to develop, but it's going to go on up through here. He's going to be a major hurricane before it's all said and done. Here's where we need to watch. There's a 90% chance that this is going to turn into a cyclone here. We'll watch that over the next 48 hours and see, but it's a 90% chance it's going to develop. So some serious stuff there. Temperatures, as you've noticed, have started to cool down, and we look at our chart here. Yeah, it's happening for us. Still hot out in the west there, but we're good in the south for once. As we look at storm predictions for today, Mississippi, Alabama is out of it. A little bit of light rain there in Texas, and as you look over here, eastern Georgia and into the Carolinas is where storms will be happening today. So keep them in your thoughts. It's going to be some rough weather there. Just it's hard to imagine going through that. Our prayers still go out to everybody that's been affected by that. As we go to radar this morning, let's pull this up so everybody can take a look. And, of course, this is Vicki. She's going out. This is Teddy here, who is going to develop and become a Hurricane 3 before it's Category 3. But luckily, it's just staying out here. Bermuda, they'll have to watch that. But it's developing. As we look across here, this is the storms. This is where this one, a chance of a cyclone forming down here. We zoom in here and we look at what's going on with Sally as she goes across there. This is where she was at 4 a.m. this morning. Going to go through Columbus, Georgia, and then on through Macon, and then making her way through Augusta and on into the Carolinas there. So it's a lot of rain there. Athens, Georgia, you're getting dumped on right now. And Augusta is getting rain, but it's going to get more. As we look here closer at Mississippi, look at this. Absolutely nothing. It's gorgeous there. That's not bad for us at all. As we zoom back out, we look over to Texas. Some slight showers to the east of Dallas, down around Houston, a few sprinkles, and a little bit out in the Gulf, but nothing major there. So our forecast calls for today a slight, ever so slight chance of a shower after 4 p.m. today. Our high is going to be 87, gusty all day, so it'll keep the temps very cool. Now, this is one of the first times we've gotten to the 80s here, steadily, 87. Tonight we'll get a low of 67. As we come back in tomorrow, 82 is the high. Boy, that's going to be a drastic change for us, going from 90 to 82. Tomorrow night, get this, hold your breath, 61 for our low. It's going to be just absolutely great. And, of course, we're going to have these gusts all the way through Monday, roughly about 20-mile-an-hour gusts each day is what we've got. As we move on down, Saturday, 78 for the high. We look for a 62 low on Saturday night. Boy, oh boy, that sounds good. 78 for a high on Sunday and 76 on Monday. Boy, it just couldn't get any better, could it? It is great weather in store for us. We hope it remains around for a little while. We do. We got our fingers crossed. It is getting on into mid-September. It'll be October before you know it. But not unusual for us to be above average. But right now, we're kind of like at that perfect weather. Again, keep in mind it's going to be gusty today. It's going to be a lot of that out there as we wait for that high near 87. And again, that's going to be the hottest it's going to be for the next 5 or 6 days. We'll come back in just a few and give you a complete look at what's going on for the next 7 days. We'll give you a week look at that. That's all up and coming here with Scotty Ray and Candace. She'll be back in just a moment. We'll talk about some news stories that's coming up.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. As we get this morning rolling, you still feeling chummy and good and all that good stuff?
Yeah, and this cool weather has really got me in a better mood.
Did I mention that I think it's Sunday morning, possibility of 59?
I can't wait. I love cool, like crisp air.
Now, the last couple of mornings, we've had a little bit of breeze from the hurricane. This morning was great. I enjoyed it outside.
Yes, and I wish it would blow all the love bugs away.
Oh.
They're the most aggravating things.
So have you scrubbed your car yet from driving around?
No, but I have them plastered to the front of my car. And I mean, it's awful.
Tough getting them off.
I have them hung, I have all this hairspray in this hair. So my husband picked one out of my hair the other day. But yeah, they're aggravating. So
kind of a pig.
As much as I talk, I might get one in my mouth or something.
They will. If you're outside, they will fly up in that old mouth and you get choked.
Really? You on the lawnmower doing a little bit of booking along on that lawnmower?
I've had it happen. I don't know if you saw this story. This was on Tucker Carlson a couple nights back. A scientist of some sort was on there, and she brought up the fact, and she says that she's got proof that this virus was made in a Chinese laboratory and then released on purpose. And this is a picture of her here of what she looks like. And the weird thing about this is Twitter just seems to be like in charge of everything. They suspended her account for saying it. Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, I just wonder, does she have some evidence that maybe, who knows? Somebody might have known about it.
She could be disappeared real quick.
Yeah.
If it's true.
Well, this is what everybody was saying all along.
It is.
So, and this was in the beginning, the first thing that everybody started saying, it was but what I would love to know is, because I read, that Fauci, the doctor, had been doing research on this coronavirus in the United States, and years ago moved it to Wuhan to a lab. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't know that.
Because they shut it down. This is what I read. They shut it down in the United States because they were worried that something would happen just like what did
It leaked
happen.
out somehow.
Yeah, and so it was moved, and he was supposedly in charge of that, is what I read. It was moved to the Wuhan lab, and I don't know after that what happened, but it kind of makes you wonder why they would be trying to shut her up, because everybody would love to know it.
Yes, they would. I don't know what her proof is, and it may not be true, but that's what she's saying at this point. We'll watch that. Of course,
I hope she releases the evidence she's talking about she has.
Just remember, Edward Snowden didn't lie. Yeah. He may have done something that wasn't maybe ethically correct, but he opened a can of worms for him, and he was telling the truth.
But they better put her in hiding.
Oh, yeah.
Hide her out.
Now, I didn't know the name when I saw this in the news, Deborah Messing, and I know that from where?
Well, Will and Grace, that show.
And I never have watched that now.
She was on Will and Grace. She was like she was the Grace character on there.
But, she's tweeting out that Trump is a racist and a pedophile. Why would you do that?
A lot of these actors and actresses are real just mouthy.
That's not true. We
Because
know that.
A lot of them are liberal and,
Yeah. And then you get into, was it yesterday was the day that supposedly all the famous people were going to boycott Facebook and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Scare me.
That would be horrible. Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
do they really think that Americans really care anymore?
It would kind of do everybody a favor.
Yeah.
You know? So we wouldn't have to hear about the negativity on their side.
They think they're making some big mark. I could really live without them.
Yeah.
You know, one of the guys that I kind of respect on all this stuff from everything that's gone on is the guy that was in that movie Shooter, Mark Wahlberg. Because he's made comments of, I try to keep my political views to myself. There's nothing worse than really liking somebody and then finding out their beliefs are so far from yours.
And let me tell you, my husband, he will not watch something. If he don't approve of how they, their views on things, he ain't watching them. He is not going to watch them. He won't buy certain products if they're ran by liberal companies. And he stands
like actors that make their off action movies, and then they go out in public and go, I can't stand guns. I want your guns to be taken away. Well, that's how you make your living, and I don't get it.
Yeah. There's a commercial out. I heard it this morning. It was talking about guns, and it wasn't like take everybody's guns away. It was just saying if you own guns, put them up when you're not using them so they can't get into the hands of children, which should be common sense.
Correct. I agree with that.
But I guess it's just been so many things happen with guns, with kids taking them to school or.
And you should always teach safety.
Right.
That's a big thing with guns.
Yeah.
Respect a gun. Any gun that's around, consider it loaded.
Right.
Because I had a friend who was tinkering on the table, going to sight his rifle and blew a hole through the wall because he thought it was empty.
Oh, I mean, this was a pellet gun. This was not even a gun with like bullets or anything, but it was like a little pellet gun I got of my brother's when I was young, and I was messing with it. I had it sitting on the table, and I was messing with it, and the pellet shot through the wall, and I was a nervous wreck because I thought, thank God it was wallpaper. That was a busy wallpaper because I knew exactly where that pellet was in the wall. But I thought if my parents find out, they are going to kill me that I had this gun. Yeah, because even that could hurt you really bad, So.
And this next thing that I read, and you've seen him, and I don't quite understand his motives or if he truly does have some mental problems. Kanye West. Of course, they've canceled, what's that show? That his wife,
the Kardashians. Yes.
Never watched it in my life. Don't plan on it, but I know that it was big regardless. It was huge.
I've watched it before. It's really not a lot of substance to it. I mean, it's just a reality.
Following them around.
Yeah.
Well, he's running for president for whatever reason. Now, is he trying to take votes away from either Trump or from Joe? I don't know. I don't know what his motive is there. But a lot of times he makes a good point of what he's trying to get across, and maybe he goes about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of days, he did a tweet to where he took one of his Grammys. He's nominated for 69 and won 21 Grammys. Huge.
Yeah.
But he took a Grammy and put it in a toilet, and it shows someone maybe going to the restroom on it. Is it him? I don't know.
Yeah.
But his point was that the music industry is making all the money, and the artists do not make as much as the record companies because they own the rights to the music and the artist does not.
Yeah. So the artists just get a Grammy.
Yeah.
They rack up on the big bucks.
And of course, he's a multi-millionaire. He's made a lot. Imagine what that record company made.
Yeah. But, I mean, you can go too far to where people are not going to take you serious at all. You
can, and he might be there.
And, he's headed in that direction.
I remember back when Toby Keith was nobody and the label that he was on cut him loose, and he goes, wait a minute, I want to buy my music back. And they sold it to him, and the big song on there was How Do You Like Me Now? He owns it. Nobody else does. And hats off to him. And, I've heard him do the interviews of that old guy that told me I was nobody, owns a grass mowing business now, and look at me.
Oh, really? Well,
How do you like me?
Yeah, that's good. I like to see or hear stories like that where people,
and he worked, like
work hard
Tim McGraw. I don't necessarily believe in all of his political, and he doesn't get too political, but I know that he and I aren't on the same page. But I give him kudos. Like, he started with a guy that did his bookings for him when he was real small. To this day, he still sends that guy a check. He's too big for that guy, but he still sends a check to him each year as a thank you for putting him where he is. Okay. Not everybody would do that.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Hats off.
That's considerate, yeah.
So those are a few news stories floating around this morning. And let's see, I think I got a few more. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, let's see here. The Chick-fil-A has got a new burger coming out.
You won't be able to even get through the line. They'll
Oh, I
have the
know,
line wrapped around them.
It's going to be huge.
It'll be like the Popeyes chicken sandwich where everybody, was trying to get that.
It will be. Yeah, all right, here we go. I was going to show a picture of that. Let's see here if I can pull that up. No, I can't pull that up. For whatever reason, that is just going all south on me. So it won't show for whatever reason. But, I know why it won't. Let's do this as I do things on the fly here where I shouldn't be doing. Here's a picture of the sandwich that they're going to be putting out. What do you think? It's got pimento cheese in it. We grew up on that as kids.
It. Yeah, I grew up on pimento and cheese, and I like pimento and cheese. Even though I tried pimento and cheese the other day for the first time in a long time, and maybe the brand that I bought was not real good. I like homemade. Though,
yeah.
So, but I'll try this.
Now, they're only tasting it right now in South Carolina and North Carolina, and the Carolinas have it all to themselves. So we don't get to try it just yet.
Yeah.
Now, why people, and as we said, we were talking about political beliefs, and sometimes it's better to keep things to yourself. This is a few days old, but still worth mentioning. The L.A. area city manager, and it's a Linwood community, a suburb right outside of L.A., made a comment about the cops that were shot and said chickens have come home to roost, meaning that he was in support of that.
Yeah.
And now they've laid him off since then, sent him home.
He should be fired.
Yeah.
I think, not laid off, just...
These are Americans protecting our country.
Right. I mean, I just don't understand how people can be in favor of killing or like attempted murder of anyone. I mean, I just don't understand it. My worst enemy, I wouldn't wish them dead. I mean, I just wouldn't.
You'd like to put ants on them or something. I can see it in your face. You peanut butter, spread it on.
I might have a few words for them, but no, I wouldn't ever wish them dead. That's just horrible.
And speaking of, another story of things that happened was, if you're a bad guy, make sure you know who you're dealing with. If you're going to try to mess somebody, there's a story not long ago of a guy that was going to rob 6 people of their phones. Well, those 6 people jumped on him, beat him, took all his clothes off, threw him out the street.
The one on the bus or the
Yeah.
subway or something. Yeah.
Well,
I saw that.
18-year-old guy, and I think this was in Oregon, decides that he wants a taxi ride. It's 25 miles away. So the cab driver makes him give him his cell phone so that he won't run off when he pulls up. Well, when he pulls up, the guy pulls a gun on him. And the cab driver ends up taking the gun away from him and shooting the bad guy, or they were in a tumble and they're not real sure who shot who.
Yes.
But the bad guy gets shot. This is what he looks like. Now, why you want to do that? Look at all the different, after they arrested him, let's see, 4th degree assault, 1st degree robbery, unlawful use of a weapon, possession of a controlled substance, and it just goes on.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's the one that gets in trouble and not the man that was trying to defend himself. But
He's just trying to make a living.
And let me just tell you, these taxi drivers do not think they are not prepared.
Oh,
because I was in Texas one time, had to take a cab, and there was this older guy, like an older man, like driving the cab, and I thought to myself, I was thinking, oh, he needs to be careful driving by himself, picking up these people. And so he picked up these 2 other people, which kind of freaked me out because we were in the cab, and then he picks other people up, puts them in the cab at the same time we're in the cab, and they scared me because they were laughing and cutting up and just like acting really weird. And so when they finally got out of the car, I could breathe again. And we said something to the driver. I was like, you're not afraid? He goes, honey, and he pulls a sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, he means business.
From next to him, and he had it. So
I've only been in 2 cabs in my life, and they didn't understand me, and I didn't understand them.
Really? Yeah, I got in one of those in Nashville.
And I showed the address on my phone of where I wanted to go, and that's how I got there. But that was some tough communication.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's just, in our area, you don't typically call a cab. You just call a friend.
Yeah. In the bigger cities, though, sometimes that's the only way they have to get around.
You get to an aeroport.
Oh, yeah. I would be a nervous wreck if I had to ride in a cab everywhere.
It'd be a different type of life.
It would.
Now, here in America, we're spoiled on really what we have. When you walk by a courthouse and you see a monument, it is really, really detailed. It is good. Like Stone Mountain, you take Mount Rushmore. Our carvings are incredible.
Yeah.
Well, this country meant well, and I believe it's
Slovenia?
Yeah,
that's what it is?
That is. We're Melania.
Melania Trump.
Let me show you these, and I don't mean this ugly by any means, but they built a statue here on the right for her. There was a protest. For whatever reason, they burned it down. It was made of wood. So then they made the one here on the left, which is stone. Does that even, this looks like a Play-Doh.
That's what I was going to say. It looks like something my 6-year-old might have attempted to make.
I mean, is technology that slow in that country? And I don't mean it mean. It's just.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they did it with like certain kind of tools that maybe they only had. I don't know.
It's a little different is all I got to say.
Yeah.
And, I hate to even admit, I'm not even real sure where that country is.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at either.
I couldn't put my finger on a map, and I guess my geography, I need to brush up on that.
Yeah. I would have no idea where to even start looking for it. So.
But I do know where Bassick City is, so, hey.
Yeah.
I'm going to go far in life. So those are a few news stories that are floating around this morning. As always, if you've got something you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear about it and share it with others. Thank you for joining. We'll recap the weather in just a second to let you know exactly what's coming up for later today and on into tomorrow. Anything that we've left off that we need to mention this morning?
I don't think so. I just, not long to the weekend, so.
Weekend is coming.
And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
All righty then. Well, thanks for dropping in, Candace, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Hurricane season is here, and like most Mississippians, you know the drill. Organize a severe weather safety kit, know how to safely use a generator, and have a plan of action to keep your family safe if a hurricane threatens. And when outages do occur, you can now report and view current outages through our free smartphone app or website at emepa.com. Remember, when storms come in, be ready if the power goes out. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
And again, the weather feels wonderful outside right now, 72. And as we got a little breeze going out there, and it almost feels like you're at the beach this morning. I know there's damage at the beach, but boy, it feels wonderful outside in East Mississippi, West Central Alabama this morning. I hope you'll get a chance this morning before it gets on up in the day and gets into the upper 80s to enjoy a little bit of it, because those moments are great. As we look at our extended forecast, let's go back over to radar here and pull up exactly what's going to be going on with our forecast here in just a moment. For some reason, that was acting odd. I don't know why. I have those things some days. As we pull up our forecast, it's calling for today to be a 20% chance of showers again in the afternoon. Our high will reach 87. We'll have that gust, as I mentioned, about 20 miles an hour. As we move in over the weekend, we can't forget 82 for our high tomorrow to end the week. That is just great. Again, gust again. Saturday, our high is going to be 78. As we look to Sunday, 78 for a high, and Monday we'll roll in with 76 for a high. It's going to be perfect weather. As we pull up our extended forecast and we look ahead, we see that Monday could be around 75. Look at this, 58 Sunday night, 56 on Monday night, and 56 Tuesday. So we've got some great weather lined up ahead of us. It's going to be perfect as those. We hadn't had 50s all year yet. So that is something for us to look very, very forward to. I can't wait. I'm excited over it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy today. 72 right now as you're waking up and getting this day started. Again, think about our friends and neighbors as we mentioned those without power a little bit earlier. And we watched those storms develop, possibly something else in the Gulf to us that could become a cyclone in the next 2 to 3 days. We'll watch that for you and be on top of that. We have been very lucky here in our area. Storms that were forecasted to come toward us, and then at the last minute, they just veer one way or the other. We've been blessed on all of that. Others not so fortunate. Thanks for spending part of your day with me here at Scotty Ray's Weather. Always important. If you wouldn't mind, like and share on your page so others can know about it. And I wanted to say, I forgot to do this a couple of months back. I got this for my birthday from Shannon Fitzgerald. Thanks. See, my name now. But big thank you to Shannon for that. I do appreciate that. Again, thank you for dropping by, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Should something come in between there, I'll keep everything posted in between now and then here with Scotty Ray's Weather. And again, thanks for dropping by.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by